All right. So yesterday I watched a filmographic experience in filmography, and it was called "The Killing of a Sacred Deer." And I gotta say, man, I was really high when I watched this movie. Let me first of all, let me say that much. I was very high when I watched this movie, and it was crazy. Like it was pretty good. So first of all, let me start. This is one of those movies that's like an experience, right? So it's like, yes, there's plot points, yes, there's plot details that I could spoil, and the movie I think might be worse off of an experience if you already know the plot going in. Um, that said, this is mostly one of those movies that is an experience to watch, right? Like you just watch the movie, and watching the movie in and of itself is an experience separate from gaining info on the plot. So, but I would recommend if you have any interest in it, it's a horror psycho thriller. Stop the show, go put this on your list. It's on Netflix for the next like 3 weeks or something. So go check it out and then watch this review later. But if you don't care, if you've already seen it, I'm going in. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say I love the cinematography, the like long, far away like camera shots. Oh, they're amazing. Like they're so good, right? Like my favorite shot in the movie is when they're like going down the escalator, and there's this like super far up camera, like 3 or 4 stories up, pointing down at them in the escalator, and then like it's crazy because they get smaller and smaller, and then stuff happens. Oh, it's really good. The music in this movie is bizarre. It is bizarre. Is being high a requirement for watching this movie? Chat question. Yes, you should be high when you watch this movie for sure. It's just going to enhance the experience. That being said, I do not recommend doing illegal drugs. Only do legal drugs, especially if you live in a state that has legalized those drugs, or a city that has legalized other kinds of drugs. You can just do those. But anyway, this movie was great. It was really good. So the plot's very bizarre. It's very interesting. It's apparently like based off of like an old ass like Greek thing. I don't know, man. But anyway, so there's a doctor who's apparently an alcoholic, and apparently he flubbed a surgery. But, he doesn't really view it as him making a mistake, but he kind of does, and he befriends, like, the person's son who he accidentally killed, because he feels bad that they lost their dad. So anyway, he develops a relationship with this kid, talks to him every once in a while, makes sure he's okay. One of the things about this movie, let me tell you, the dialogue in this movie, if you've watched this movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. The dialogue in this movie, I feel like every character is extremely autistic. That was my takeaway from this movie, right? Like everyone speaks in like a very bizarre fashion, and I loved it. I thought it was great. So the dialogue is really bizarre. People like just, there's like, it's just, it feels like they're just like, it's really bizarre. But anyway, so he meets and befriends this kid. And the kid turns out to be like some sort of, I don't know, like they somehow put a curse on the doctor, and then all of his family members start dying, and then it gets good. So, but this is the thing. So the first like 40 minutes of the movie is like building up the characters. Like nothing strange has happened, nothing supernatural has happened. We're just like learning about the characters. It's like watching an episode of like a very long television show. Like it's just like, oh, this is a doctor, they're going to work. Like again, it's just a regular whatever. So the first like 30-40 minutes or whatever are like that. And then the kid, like the weird kid or whatever, whose dad died on the surgical table, right? Like he like just goes in. He just says, by the way, I put a curse on you. Your whole family's gonna die unless you specifically kill one of your children or something. And then the movie gets epic. So the last like 2/3 of the movie are like so incredibly epic, right? Like so the kids slowly start dying. Like they become slowly more and more paralyzed until they like bleed from their eyeballs. It's crazy. And then like oh my god, there's like a torture scene. It was really good. And then the music is so crazy. Like it's going like it's out of control. And eventually the movie ends with the doctor father guy killing someone in his family because that like the curse that the kid puts on them is like, you need to lose a family member and then we'll be even, or some stupid shit. And so he kills a member of his family, and that's the sacred deer. So the killing of a sacred deer is that's the spoiler. But I won't tell you who he kills. But anyway, it's a great movie. I mean, this movie is great. It's great. I don't know what to tell you. It's great. So I highly recommend watching it. If you haven't seen it yet and you're still watching this, you shouldn't be. You should have turned it off and you should have avoided the spoilers. But if you're still here, go watch the goddamn. It's really, really good. I'm gonna write down the name of the director and see some other of this person's films. But anyway, very good. Again, it's an experience. Like, when I say that, I mean it's like a very artistic kind of film. The cinematography, the music, the way that the dialogue, the dialogue is great. Now, like, it's like everything about the movie and the way that it expresses itself is extremely artistic. And I very much so appreciated that. And so, very good movie. I'm enjoying it. Rather, I enjoyed it, and well, I'm also enjoying it because if you believe that nonlinear time is a thing, I am both enjoying it also while I'm reviewing it because time is nonlinear. Like, everything is happening all at once. So I am currently in another form of perceiving time, still enjoying it, but also I enjoyed it, and also and it's anyway. So really good movie. Recommend it to all my friends. So